Hello, and welcome to Chit Chat. I am your host, Linda Medeiros. So today, I am going to introduce you to a very special friend of mine. He has spina bifida, and he's going to talk to all of you about how he makes his technology accessible and what kind of technology he uses. He is a great actor, and he is in a program called Trauma Way. And you may know him from the movie The Rainbow Kid. And he loves Princess Ariel from The Little Mermaid. So please welcome my good friend, Darish Sarabi.
Well, thank you very much, Linda. And by the way, I had no idea you were going to mention the Rainbow Kid, so I'm very honored to be a part of this podcast, and to be honest, I'm very honored that you reminded everyone that I was a part of the Rainbow Kid. I was very freaking honored to be a part of the Rainbow Kid.
Well, you are very welcome, and welcome to Chit Chat.
And it's my very honor.
All right, so I want to talk to you.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh yeah. Now I want to talk to you about a few things. So I understand you have spina bifida. So
yes, I do.
So can you tell me what spina bifida is?
Spina bifida it's basically a disability,
right?
Where it's basically a disability where as you may or may not know, you may know this already. I mean, I can talk. I can voice project my if you see my hand, this is my projection. I can voice project my voice project here. But here I can whisper, but I can't whisper. If I'm over here, I can just, if I'm far away, I can just yell if I want.
But, so as you know, I understand that spina bifida affects 100 people in Canada every year. And yes. I also understand that your spina bifida is like more moderate, because some are very mild and some are very severe.
Oh yeah. Mine is more moderate. It's very severe. I mean,
right.
To be honest, I don't bloody know why or how, but I can get the judge of it. I understand.
Yes, I can see you're adjusting. So how did you make your wheelchair accessible while having spina bifida?
How did I get my wheelchair accessible? What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is, like, since your spina bifida is more like moderate, because I know some people who have spina bifida can walk, and there are some that are very mild.
Oh yes.
And you're using a wheelchair because like, you're making it more accessible. So how did you make it accessible?
I'm using my wheelchair because unfortunately, with unfortunately with needs of mine, I
Yes.
cannot. Unfortunately, with these needs of
Yes,
mine,
I see that.
I cannot walk because I am a handicap.
Yes, I understand that. So your legs are numb, so you can't feel them.
Exactly. I am I am different. I am uh do you know what this quote means? Differently abled.
Yes, I believe I know what that is.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I'm differently abled, meaning sure I cannot sure I cannot walk or,
Mhm.
or even snap, but that doesn't mean that doesn't that doesn't change the fact that I can do
Of course not.
anything else.
Of course not. Like, you may be in a wheelchair, but you're still capable of being independent.
Exactly. Yes.
So what kind of other technologies do you use, and how did you make those other technologies accessible?
Well, just like what we are doing now.
Yes.
Just like what we are doing now.
Mhm.
We are doing Zoom and
Yes.
to be honest, it's the technology. It's one of the technologies I actually love the most.
Oh, of
Because
course. Everyone loves Zoom.
indeed, indeed, and to be and and I and I am a positive, and I am a positive. I am a positive Pete, meaning I am a positive Pete, and what that means is I I I am I am very calm. I
Of
see
course.
the I see the good in everything. Like this this pandemic, for example.
Oh, yes.
Like this pandemic, for example.
Oh, yes. The
Like
pandemic.
like Linda, there is a silver lining towards anything, right?
Of course. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, this like this Zoom, like this Zoom, for example,
Mm-hmm. Of
or
course.
Facebook. Like we
Exactly.
can always be like we can always be out of the house doing something. I mean,
Of course
that is
not.
that is great on all. That is
Mm-hmm.
great on that's great on all. But what some people do not realize is that they have great technology and their disposal, like like well, like Zoom, for example.
Yes. And I'm glad you mentioned Zoom and you're making it accessible. Like,
Yes, yes, indeed. Like 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 uh like people can do any like Zoom can do anything. Zoom can do Zoom can do uh I mean Zoom can do Zoom can do Zoom, but these Zoom Zoom can do many things. Zoom birthdays, Zoom wedding showers,
mhm. Yes.
Zoom Zoom parties. I mean, see, it's there. It's there any it's there anything Zoom cannot do. I mean, I didn't say
Yes.
Zoom is Zoom is Zoom is incredible.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned Zoom and you're making it accessible. And
And
another
not to mention Facebook.
yes, Facebook too. And another question I want to ask you. What were the challenges you had to go through while having spina bifida?
What are the challenges?
Yes. So it doesn't have to be like just medical. Like it can be like, did you have to go through, bullying when you were at school?
Boy, no. No, I haven't had to go to boring. That was that was never my forte. I never had boring go through in my whole entire life.
It's like people were accepting you even when
Yes, yes, yes. Everywhere I go, people could sense. I can sense that I have a good heart.
that's what I like to hear. So what challenges did
Even
you
if
have?
it meant strangers.
Yeah. So what challenges did you have to go through medically? Like, did you have to go through a lot of doctor's appointments and
Standards, um, standards appointments. Oh yes, yes. I I have I have to go through sorry, excuse me, Oh. Yeah, I had to I had to go through so many doctors appointments
yeah,
and and I and and I still had to go through a lot of the standard doctor appointments because without because that's a part of my life. I
yeah,
um I have to go through the doctor's appointments to to keep myself alive.
I understand. Now I understand you mentioned that you had pneumonia years ago, and that was
Oh
like
yeah,
a
indeed.
challenge.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh yes. I mean, and I tell you, Linda, Linda, when I tell you, out of all the challenges I've had, this one was the toughest challenge I had to face.
I can tell.
I mean, I mean, can you tell me my face? This,
Yes,
this
I could tell.
out of every challenge I've had to face, this was the toughest challenge ever. I mean, I never, I never actually had, I never actually had pneumonia until that day.
Yes, I understand. But look at you now. You overcome that challenge and you're
Oh
still
yes,
here.
oh yeah, and look at me, and but Wilson, look at me now.
Yes. And I also want to know, how did you overcome those challenges? Like, and what advice can you give to our audience if
Well,
they're going
well,
through a difficult time?
well. well, I'm afraid, well, let me, tell you, going through the pneumonia was the most difficult challenge. And
Understand that.
besides, and I'm not sure our audience wants to hear, but I'll give it a go.
Yes, do what you can.
Did the pneumonia come close? And almost actually literally, and this is legit. I'm not even freaking lying. It almost killed.
Yeah, pneumonia is very serious. It does tend to,
Yeah,
kill a
yeah.
lot
I
of
mean,
people.
yeah. I mean, but again, look at me now. I,
Yes.
I kept I kept pos- I gave I kept positive thought. I kept a positive, but I still have a positive smile.
Yes.
I still have a positive smile everywhere I go. And
Mhm.
uh and uh, uh and I never and I never um and despite that having challenged challenge, I did not let that uh forgive I did not let that uh I did not let that foggy pneumonia get in my way. So that is my that is my uh basically my message to everyone in the business. And I mean everyone, including teachers. It's that whenever challenge you got, whenever challenge you got, and whenever got, whenever challenge you got against you, do not be afraid to overcome it.
That's very good advice.
Do not
And
be afraid to overcome it. You can do this.
exactly. I love how you're giving positive feedback and always have a positive attitude when you're overcoming a challenge.
Oh yes, indeed. Because that is what I'm all about. I'm all about giving positive vibes and positive attitudes to anyone.
Well, that's
Like
good to hear.
like I said before, even if it means strangers, because I can sense the good in everyone.
Awesome. Now, I also want to ask, what are your goals in the future and how are you going to achieve those goals?
Well, like I said before, well, sorry,
That's okay.
drink. Um, well, like I, well, like you said before, I was in the limbo kid,
Of course.
and and by the way, have you watched the movie?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know you're in it. And I know another friend of mine is in it. Her name is Crystal, and she has Down syndrome. Did
Oh
you have a
yes,
good time working with her?
about yes, I did. I yes, I did. I also was, I also have a friend that was the lead role of the movie.
Oh, yes, he was the star.
Yes, the star,
Mhm.
and even though you haven't seen the movie yet, do you know what the movie that it's about?
Well, I do understand that it's about a boy who has Down syndrome and he's being bullied by other kids.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Just like you. Well, you ever, just like you, and if I remember correctly, you've been bullied at school, unlike me, right?
I'm afraid I have been, but I overcome those challenges. It makes me feel like a stronger person.
See, and see, that's what and see, that's what I'm talking about. Don't let things get you up. Don't let things get you or anybody down. You can do this. Even in movies like the Rainbow Kid, you can get through this.
That's very good advice. And I love how like you're putting it in a positive way. Like I understand like there's still a lot of kids that are going through that. And I just love how you're giving that kind of advice for everyone who's going through this kind of pain.
Hey, that's what I'm all about.
That's very good to hear. So
Hey,
I
that's
also want to ask, so how did you become successful while having spina bifida? Besides your acting, of course.
how did I become successful?
Right.
Easy. That's easy. That's bringing a smile to everyone's faces.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about. I'm
So
not. I'm not all about frowns. I'm not all about crying. None of that bullshit. I'm all about smiles.
I'm glad to hear that. And you're still like, being positive and you're still becoming successful.
Oh yes, indeed. Oh yes, indeed. Oh yes, indeed. I mean, in these troubled times, I'm not in these troubled times. I'm not letting this discourage me. That's not the one I'm all about.
Excellent. It's like you're not letting anything stop you. You're always going to be positive and just be yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That exactly. Everybody, if you want, if you want to be, if it, if you want to be a winner, just 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 stay calm, be patient, and be yourself.
Yes. Stay calm, patient, and be yourself. And also believe in yourself.
That too, yes. Believe in yourself. If you want, if you want to be on, if you want to be on, like an a comedian on a a report a reporter, whatever. If you want to, if you if you want to, if you if you want if you want to be all of those things, I if you want to be all those things, I'd say go for it.
Yes. Go for it. Don't let anything stop you.
Exactly. If you want to say be all those things, I'd say do not give up on your dreams and just go for it.
Yes. Excellent advice. Go for it.
Yes, that's what I believe in it. I believe in anything. I believe in hopes and dreams, and not believe in going for it. I pursue it.
Yes. And not only that you're a positive guy, But I know several times you tell everyone you're a prince.
Indeed, I am.
The ladies love it when the men are a prince.
There is no doubt about it. It doesn't matter what is on the outside. What truly matters, what do you mind if I step back for
Not at all.
and what truly matters is what's in here.
Exactly.
What
Exactly.
truly matters is actually not what's here. What truly matters is what's in your heart.
Yes. And
And
even
what-
if you have,
and what's in your soul.
yes, and even if you have a disability, always treat people by their personality.
Always. Always. Like I I forgot what disability you have, Nida, but I treat you with love and respect just
Yes.
because I love you.
Well, I appreciate that. Like having CP all my life, I still treat people with respect and
CP, what CP?
oh, CP, cerebral palsy.
Oh, cerebral palsy, right? I
Yeah.
don't know how you describe it, but I understand.
So it's like one muscle is not working as good as the other muscle.
Oh,
So kind of like in your spina bifida condition, because your legs are numb,
oh,
but
yes,
you're using a wheelchair to make it accessible.
yes, and may I interject a bit?
Yes.
My and the main reason I'm in a wheelchair is not just because of my legs, but and this is actually a true story that I'm going to tell you and the audience.
Mhm. Go for it.
But when I was a baby,
Right.
When I was a baby and still in my mom's womb, unfortunately, a part of my brain got a part of my brain got attacked and damaged.
Were those one of the symptoms?
One of those were one of the symptoms, yes.
Right.
And and hence why I cannot walk because it affects it.
Of your brain, right?
Yeah,
that was one of your symptoms.
Yeah, one of a part of my brain got impacted, but when not all of my brain, just a part of my
I
brain.
see.
And that is basically why and that's basically why I cannot walk, and I have and I have a heritage rod in my back.
Oh.
Do you know what a heritage rod is? Have you ever heard of it?
No, but why don't you explain it to our audience? Would you like to do that?
Um, well, I well I was well I was well I was I was I, I was a sick kid. hospital when
Yes,
they
the
did
kids.
it. So they put me on sleep at the time while they were doing it. So I do not actually know too much about what heritage is,
Right.
but but um I do not know too much what the heritage is because I went asleep. So
That's fine.
I don't quite know what that is. I'm sorry,
That's
but
okay.
but
You can do
but
that.
um but when I was asleep, they had to legit and again these things about like when I have my pneumonia, but not really.
Right.
They they had to when I was then when they not meowed, uh, they 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 had to literally, and I'm not joking, but I did not hear it. Thank goodness, because I was asleep.
Yes.
They had to cut my back open.
They did what they gotta do.
Yeah, they had to cut my back open because when I was a kid, I did sense no joke. I did might and I'm a comedian, so
Of course.
this might make you laugh at the audience laugh at your eyes. But but uh but uh but but when I was a little boy, I was I was literally bending over like I was literally bending over like thinking Quasimodo, like the thinking Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh yes.
We had to do
Quasimodo.
something about that. Funny,
Oh,
huh?
don't be silly.
Funny, huh?
So,
Huh.
like,
That's what literally what happened
so,
back.
so how did you find out you were diagnosed? I understand you were, a baby when you were diagnosed. Did the
Oh
doctors
yeah,
tell your mom and your dad that you were diagnosed with spina bifida?
diagnosed. Well, um, um,
Well, it's okay if you don't remember.
well, do you want me to get my uh, mom so she can maybe tell you a bit more of the story?
Well, we don't have to go through that right now. If you don't know, that's okay. But I am glad that you are putting your disability into a positive way. I
Oh
mean, you're making
yes,
it into a positive
yeah,
way.
um, yes. Um, I don't I don't think I told my mom or dad that I got diagnosed with spina bifida. Spin, spina bifida. I think they realized that. Well, I'm not sure, but I think they realized that I got diagnosed with spina bifida.
So I
Uh,
guess maybe your brain wasn't functioning properly. That's how maybe you like diagnosed.
yeah, yes,
I can
yes,
understand that.
yes. Hence why I went in my mom's womb.
Yeah, because I understand it can affect during pregnancy.
Oh yes, yes. But luckily for me, I was very lucky because it did not paralyze me.
Well, that's very good news.
it might have paralyzed a bit of my brain, but it might have paralyzed a bit of my brain, but luckily not my whole brain, not my whole head.
Well, that's very good news.
Yeah, that's very good news. So I was very lucky.
And it was a miracle too.
Oh yes, it was a miracle. That's like my pneumonia was a miracle.
Yes.
That was a miracle.
Yes, miracles happen every day.
Yes, indeed. Even with these trying pneumonia times.
Yes,
I mean,
of course.
not pneumonia, sorry. COVID-19 times.
Yes. And you are a very positive man.
Hey, Lance and the family runs in the gene pool.
I can see that. Well, thank you for coming on Chit Chat, Darius.
My pleasure. Anything, my pleasure. Anything to anything for our friend.
Oh, of course.
Anything for a friend, especially for a friend that I love.
Oh, thank you. We got to hear that.
And hey and 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 how is your how is your teacher that that still knows who I am?
Well, thank you for mentioning that. Well, Liz is doing really well, and I want to thank her for encouraging me to do this interview with you. And I thought it would be really nice for me to interview someone she knows. And I just want to thank her for, mentioning that she knows who you are and you know who she is.
Oh yeah, me. Let's go way back.
Oh, of course. And also, I want to thank my classmates for helping me with the teamwork. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be in this position.
But yes, indeed.
Yeah, they gave me lots of advice. Some of my classmates did research on your disability.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking.
I won't agree. I want not to talk to. I want not to talk. Well, if you bring her to this podcast, that is, I would absolutely have to love to talk to this again.
Of course.
I miss her.
Oh, I'm sure she misses you too.
Yeah, I made some from the. You can tell her this. I can you tell her this?
Of course.
I made some from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, I'm sure she feels the same way too.
Hell, from my broken heart, and I would like to see her again.
Yes, and also I want to thank one of my other teachers, Stephanie Zabaron. She is a great voiceover.
Who is Stephanie? What?
Oh, Stephanie Zabaron. She does voiceover and also does podcasting. So I'm
that's voiceovers too, huh?
Oh yes.
Oh.
And I want to thank her for helping me with my interview skills. And I was so calm about it too.
I bet she was teaching you that too, huh?
Oh, a lot of them were teaching me.
Good. I like that.
Yes. So thank you for coming on Chit Chat, and I'm glad you had a great time doing this interview with me.
It was such a pleasure to it was a pleasure to it was a pleasure to be here and such a pleasure to chit chat with you. See what I did? No, no, but seriously, it was such an honor to chit chat with you.
Yes. Well, it was an honor for you to be my guest.
Thank
Join-
you very much. And
Join me next.
and if you ever bring Liz here to the chit chat, please, I would like to talk to her.
Oh, of course. Well, join me next week for another episode on Chit Chat, where I can talk to you about fashion style. So until then, being different isn't always bad. It's what makes you special.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. I mean, hey, look at me. I am different. I mean, so I might be in a wheelchair, and everybody else might not be in a wheelchair. But but hey, that doesn't stop you from being special. You can be special in your very own in your very own way. Whenever if you're in a wheelchair, or even if you're not, it doesn't matter. You are special in your own specific way.
I love that advice. So until then, always be true to yourself and always believe in yourself.
I never give up on your hopes and dreams. Remember everybody. Remember everybody. You can do much. Never give up hope
Never.
or dreams. So it was wonderful for you to bring me up here. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming on Chit Chat.
My pleasure.
And that is all, folks. Join us next week for another episode on Chit Chat, hosted by Linda Medeiros. It's me.
Not to mention the gorgeous Linda Medeiros.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, and thank you for coming.
You too, son.
Now, I hope you liked today's chit chat with my good friend Darish Zarabi. He had very interesting points on spina bifida. Now, I would like to thank Liz Noble for encouraging me to do this interview, because apparently she knows my good friend. And I want to thank my classmates from Mohawk College in Delaware for the teamwork. And if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have been in this position. So I want to thank my classmates for the research on spina bifida, for the advice that you've given me. And thank you all for, believing in me. So thank you to my classmates for the teamwork for this podcast. And I would love to thank my teacher, Stephanie Babylon, for my interview skills. She is an expert on podcasting. So Stephanie, thank you so much for this. And I didn't even feel so nervous. So thank you for that. And thank you for the audience for watching today's episode. So join me next week on Chit Chat. I'm going to talk to you about different kinds of fashion and what kind of material you can use for fashion. But until then, always believe in yourself. Being different doesn't make you bad. It's what makes you special. And you can always have a positive attitude. So until then, always put a bright smile on your face. Thank you for joining me on Chit Chat.